Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and welcome to my Oscar predictions for January of 2021. That's right, predictions. No more hopefuls, guys. This is my full list of what I think is going to get nominated at the Oscars. I have a lot to go over. I've made a script just to keep in mind everything that I have to say. So let's begin. Here it is, guys. My predictions for what I think is going to get nominated for Best Picture. And really the things to keep in mind are right now it's really a race between three films. The top three you see there. Nomadland, The Trial of the Chicago 7, and Mank. Nomadland obviously right now I think has the best chance of winning. It's been winning all of the awards at all the different festivals, at all the different critic award circles. And I know you're thinking, Jan, wasn't this the movie that you're just talking shit on and criticizing? Well, first and foremost, have you seen my other videos? I talk shit on the past winners. You don't think I'm gonna talk shit about winners this year? Yeah. Second of all, I haven't seen the film yet. I've only gone off of what it looks like the film is gonna do, and I still stand by it looks like it's gonna be pretentious, that general audiences really aren't gonna be going for it, that this is gonna be more of a film that critics love. Until I see it, I'm not gonna change my stance on it. So there's that. But that being said, I do think it has the most buzz and the best chances of winning right now. And for that, it's definitely at my number one spot. That being said, if it does end up getting a lot of general audience hate or people are just kind of non-receptive to it, general audiences, I feel then maybe the voters who don't have that critic's mind will go for the number two pick, The Trial of the Chicago 7. Which I think definitely has more audience and critics that are more receptive to it, or enjoy it a lot more. So there's a very good chance that that one could also take it. Now, falling by the minute is Mank, which is a pretentious film. And don't get me wrong, I love Mank. I'm actually one of the few people out there who really don't have much of a problem with it. I really enjoyed it. But it is a pretentious film. And it being pretentious, obviously it's something that certain people are gonna like and a lot others are not. And so you're seeing it drop, you're gonna see it probably drop a little bit more as the time gets closer to the Oscars. I think it's really gonna be on Nomadland and Trial of Chicago 7, but Mank is still slightly in the running. Now the rest of these lists on here, the picks on here, really are just filler to make it look like a competition. None of these other ones really have a shot of taking it home, at least not right now anyway. So really I've only put stuff on here that I would really like to see on there. I think Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is a shoo-in. Judas and the Black Messiah has been getting pretty good early buzz, though I tend not to go off the early stuff. But I'm hoping it's good. The trailer looks amazing. One Night in Miami I think is a safe bet. I'm hoping for Minari, The Father, Sound of Metal, a lot of people being really receptive to Sound of Metal. And then that last spot I put First Cow just for fun. I don't think we're gonna get a full 10 nominees this year. I think we're gonna get 8. And honestly, with the films out there, I really can see this being 7. But that's what I got for Best Picture. Moving on to Director, I think this is really a sort of mirror of what Best Picture's looking at. Chloe Zhao, definitely in the running right now. And, you know, I mentioned this in one of my older videos, but just because maybe the movie itself is not well received with a certain audience, doesn't mean certain elements of it can't be well received by that same audience. Case in point, directing. A lot of people are saying Chloe Zhao is definitely the front runner for directing, and hey, if the directing is solid, why not? I'd be all for it. I think a lot of people are hungry to have another female director win. It's been too long. And if she did a good job, yeah, why not? That being said, I don't think David Fincher is completely out yet. A lot of people were saying, you know, it's his time to win, which I don't really agree with. You make a good film, you deserve to win, that's how it should be. But I think a lot of people are still kind of rallying for him to finally take it, especially him being such a huge presence in Hollywood and making some of the best movies. I think a lot of people would like for him to go home with the win. And especially Chloe Zhao, who I believe this is only her second film. Like, there's still time for her to hone her craft even further and take it home in the future. So there's that. Now, just like with the Best Picture and the slight possibility of Mank taking it home, I think there's a slight possibility of Aaron Sorkin taking director. It's not very big, but it's there, especially if his film ends up being the contender for Best Picture. If it's really gonna win, then I don't see it being implausible for him to take Best Director. So again, just a slight possibility, probably not, but there's that. Now the other two picks, again, are just filler. I put Regina King on there because I would love to see a second female director nominated. It would be the first time in Oscar history, which is pretty damn sad, but again, I think it would be nice to see her there. Another possibility is the director for Promising Young Women, who has been blowing up recently, so there's a good chance next month my predictions might have dropped Regina, maybe placed her with that director instead. The last one being Shaka King for Judas. This is me just really hoping that movie is amazing. If it is, it could get a push for director, and it would definitely make the lineup very interesting this year. So that's my picks. That's what I'm thinking right now. I've been saying this from the very beginning, but I think the actress categories are very exciting this year. And I think we have a pretty good lineup, but no real clear winner yet. As of right now, I think Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman is going to take it. She is really good in that movie. She has a really great monologue that she delivers towards the end of the film, plus that first part with her giving birth, being pregnant. It is just so well acted. I see her being a huge front runner right now, but not 100% guaranteed to win. I think a lot of other people are pointing toward Viola Davis and her taking it for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is a possibility, but for me, I think her screen presence is actually not, she doesn't have a lot of screen time, and I think that's ultimately going to hurt her chances. I think she's still a shoo-in for being nominated. That's just ultimately making me think Vanessa's going to take it rather than Viola. Apart from that, I have Sophia Loren on there. Sophia Loren, just very respected by the Oscars. She has this kind of elegant presence that I think the Oscars really like. So I see her possibly being nominated. That's a good possibility. I think Frances McDormand is a shoo-in right now, especially with how strong Nomadland is going into picture and going into director. So I think it goes in tandem. Frances is just going to get another nomination. And then the last person I put on here is Carey Mulligan. This is literally just a last-minute addition. This is for Promising Young Woman, which, as I just said, is blowing up. A lot of people are talking about this film, and a lot of people are talking about Carey possibly being nominated and possibly winning. But then again, that's the same story that we've been hearing for a lot of these other actresses. So I'm, again, taking it with a grain of salt. That's why she's on my number 5. But I don't want to completely ignore what I'm hearing. So there you go. That's what I have. But this list can very easily be different next month. It's not set in stone. Best Actor, on the other hand, I think is pretty much set at this point in time, and you're really not going to see a lot of changes from month to month from here on out. First and foremost, Chadwick Boseman's taking it home. There's just no arguing that one. I am like 99% sure he's going to be going home, or well, he's going to be awarded the Oscar posthumously. And yeah, I mean, if he doesn't take it, not only would the Academy kind of be in trouble because of the implications that could bring out, but it would also be really sad if he didn't take it. This, because of the events, if he doesn't take it, it would be pretty much a shame. Now that being said, Anthony Hopkins, everyone's saying, and they've been saying it from the premiere of the film, that he's giving his career best since Silence of the Lambs. And a lot of people have been saying that if it weren't for the untimely passing of Chadwick, Anthony would be taking it home this year. So that's why I'm 99% on Chadwick, because I think that other 1% is for Anthony. Like maybe the Oscars decides to go that route. The voters decide to go that route. I don't think they will, but there's that slim possibility. Everybody else on here I think is pretty much guaranteed, just definitely not guaranteed to win. Delroy Lindo, poor Delroy, they decide to push him for leading actor, and I think ultimately he's getting overshadowed by these other two actors. If they had just left him in supporting, I think he would have had a really good chance of winning. But I get it, you can't, after Chadwick's passing, it's not like they they could say, oh, you know what, we decided to go back with supporting actor for Delroy. That probably would have hurt his chances more than anything. But you know, sometimes those are the hand that you're dealt. So anyway, Gary Oldman I think is pretty much set for Mank. Again, Mank I think is going to have a lot of nominations. It's a very technically very impressive film, and I think Gary Oldman, hands down, great performance. I think he's set. The last spot I'm giving to Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, who did a fantastic job in that film. It's a role that really, you know, it needs to have a lot of facial emoting. You know, you can't really communicate like you normally do. It's this person that's going deaf, so it's him seeing the world in a new way, and that's really hard to come across, and he does it fantastically. So I think we're pretty much set with these 5. I don't really see this changing unless somebody else gets, you know, a really good push, but I think we got our 5 here. Best Supporting Actress is another one that's just anybody's game right now. Anybody could snatch the win. As of right now, I have Olivia Colman for The Father, and I only have her up there due to the contrast from her previous nomination and win to now. I think it's showing her acting chops and what she can really do as an actress. So right now, I think that's a really good indicator of her getting nominated and just the good job that everyone's saying that she's doing in the film. However, again, not set in stone. This could easily change. Following up, I have yuh-jung for Minari, who I hear is getting nominated left and right in the critics circles of the awards. So this again could be a makeup for previous Oscar where they didn't nominate Xiao Shen. Maybe this is the redemption. I haven't seen Minari. I can't comment on her performance, but hey, if she gives that amazing performance, I'm all for it. That being said, I don't think Glenn Close is out of the running. I know Hillbilly Elegy, terrible reviews. It's a terrible film. It really is. It's a horrendous movie. But Glenn Close, stand out. She did an amazing job. So I don't think they're quite ready to knock her out of this fob. I think they want her to win at some point. So I think she's going to get nominated. I don't know if she'll win. Again, this category is kind of up in the air right now. I also have Saoirse Ronan for Ammonite. That's really just for me. I don't think she's gonna get nominated. I'm putting her there just as a hopefuls, really. Ammonite's pretty much dead. Nobody's really talking about it, so there's that. However, I do want to talk about Maria Bakalova for Borat, who did a fantastic job in that film. I think the movie's okay. I don't think the movie's anything fantastic, but oh my god, she did an amazing job. And to see her get into the Oscar category for the supporting actress, that would be amazing. That honestly would be one of the highlights of the Oscars, just to see her nominated. So yeah, again, this list can completely be different next month, and honestly, that's pretty exciting. Supporting actress is actually another one that is kind of up in the air. We don't quite have a standout winner just yet. Right now, I'm thinking Daniel Kaluuya for Judas. I hear, again, just early signs is that he's really good in the film. So I have him on there. They did say they're putting him for supporting actor. So with that being said, he could take it home. As of right now, if everybody is right that he's amazing, I think he has a really good chance to take it home. However, Sacha Baron Cohen is campaigning the hell out of the Trial of the Chicago 7, and thus I think it's his year as well. It's a very good chance that it could be his year. He's got Borat, he's got Trial, he's got an amazing performance, so I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up taking the win that night. Leslie Odom Jr., another one, and really the only one for One Night in Miami. I think that's the one that everybody's kind of backing right now. So I think it's a pretty safe bet that he's going to get in. I don't know what his chance of winning are. A lot of people have him higher on their list, so I put him at number 3 just to be safe for now, but I feel his entry could fluctuate up or down depending on how he's campaigned. Bill Murray, I still think Bill Murray has a chance of getting in. I know On the Rocks really isn't being talked about anymore, but Bill Murray is a fantastic actor. I think a lot of people really love him. They think he deserves to win, so I'm putting him on the list. I think he's going to sneak in. He could be the number 5 slot. I put him at number 4 just because I like him a lot, but he could easily be that kind of 5th contender. Right now I have Stanley Tucci for Supernova as my 5th contender. I really don't know much about the film. I've heard he's fantastic. This pick is really just going off of what I hear from other people. So I don't have much to say about that. But yeah, it's anybody's guess who of these people might win, or maybe somebody else will come in and surprise us. Adapted screenplay is no doubt going to go to Nomadland. The writing categories, whoever wins there has the best chance of taking home for Best Picture. That being said, I heard somebody else's nominations, and they feel that Nomadland is one of those films that it's not really about the writing. And it could be one of those rare instances where Nomadland doesn't win writing but wins Best Picture, which is pretty rare, but it has happened. And if that's the case, I would think Ma Rainey's Black Bottom would be the second best guess. It's based off a play. It has a lot of dialogue. It's very dialogue focused. So I would see that being a very easy replacement if Nomadland just doesn't take it home. Although if it doesn't, there's a good chance then that Trial of the Chicago 7 is gonna go home the big winner that night. The rest of these picks on here, I just kind of threw in there just based on what other people are saying. I think The Father and One Night in Miami are pretty safe bets, and they usually always like to throw in a film that isn't being as recognized in the other categories. And I think for this one, they're gonna go with I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which is very dialogue heavy, and so they might want to reward it just as a recognition, just because of that. On the flip side, original screenplay, I think it's pretty much a done deal that Trial of the Chicago 7 is taking it home. Aaron Sorkin, brilliant writer, one of my favorite writers working right now in Hollywood, just does an amazing job with that script. That's definitely one of the strongest things about the film. That being said, I think there's a tiny slight possibility that Mank could steal it here. Jack Fincher, David Fincher's father, wrote the script a couple of years ago, passed away before he was able to make it a film, and so this could be the night that we see 2 posthumous Oscars awarded, which would be a very interesting thing to witness. Make for a really nice story, I suppose. Maybe the voters would like to see that happen. That being said, I hope to see Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always on here. I think that's a very strong film in terms of its writing. I put Minari on there, and then I put Soul. Pixar films tend to get nominated for writing a lot of the time, so I think there's a chance Soul could get in there as well. But again, it doesn't matter. This is really going to go to Trial of the Chicago 7. Moving on to Best Cinematography, aka the pretentious award. I think right now Mank. Mank, I think, has the best chance. It's this black and white, nostalgia-filled Hollywood setting, which, again, circle jerk production, a lot of voters love that sort of thing, so I think that's the safest bet right now, with the possibility of Nomadland taking it as well. Again, if Nomadland is as big and gonna be the ultimate winner, I wouldn't be surprising to see that one take it home. And I haven't seen the film, but I think with these type of movies where you have just like these landscapes, like you get this huge view of the environment that they're in, a lot of people get mesmerized by that. So again, Nomadland, it's a possibility. The other ones are on there. I'm not going to go too into detail with these other categories. I just really want to talk about the strongest possibilities. So Mank, backup Nomadland. Moving on to costume design. Again, Mank. I think Mank has the best chance. Old Hollywood nostalgia. People love that stuff. The voters love that stuff. It's the Circle Jerk Awards for a reason. And so that's what you got. I have Emma at number 2, just because I think those period piece costumes are beautiful. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, why is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom so low? Apart from Ma Rainey's own costume, I thought everything else just looked like a play costume, which it didn't seem very believable to me. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of other people disagree with that, so I'm not as sold on Ma Rainey. But again, doesn't matter. I think Mank has the best chance of taking it home here. Best film editing, Trial of the Chicago 7, done deal. We don't even have to go into the others. I think this is one of the safer picks of the night. Production design, once again, I have Mank on there. Again, old Hollywood, circle jerk. What I just said about Mank. Again, very technically impressive film, and I think it's not going to win Best Picture, but I think it's going to be the big winner of the night with all the awards it's going to take home. So you're pretty much set there. For Best Sound, what do you think? Sound of Metal, of course. I mean, just that movie's all about the sound, its lack of sound. It's not afraid to be quiet. It's not afraid to get loud at points. That sound is just masterful. I mean, that's just a movie that you notice the sound. I don't think anything else is gonna steal it away. Sound of Metal, sound, we're good to go on that one. Best makeup and hairstyling, I really think this is gonna come down to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I think they're really gonna award it this one, and it's mostly due to Ma Rainey's own makeup and just the way that Viola transforms into this character. So well done. That makeup is very impressive. A lot of people are gonna be like, she's over makeuped, and I'm like, that's kind of the point. You know, you're trying to disguise the character, or the actress. You're trying to make her to this character, and they did a wonderful job. This is one that I think Hillbilly Elegy also has a possibility of taking it home with what they did with Glenn Close. They disguised her. They put all this makeup on her. They put all this work into her hair, and she's disguised. And I think it's great when I can't see the actor and you're just seeing the characters. And both these movies did that completely for me. So I think these are the two most possible picks for the category. Best visual effects. I'm gonna go with Tenet, even though I don't think it's a very visual film. A lot of it is actually pretty practical, but I think a lot of people are already they have their stars in their eyes when they hear visual effect and Tenet. So that's my guess. Now this one might change because I truly think The Invisible Man needs to take this one home. I think it's a great way to honor that one. The effects actually look pretty dang good for what they were going for there. And then I hear a lot of good stuff about Midnight Sky in terms of its visual. The film itself, everybody hates the film. I haven't seen it, but nobody likes it. The one thing that they say is its visual design. So I think it's gonna get nominated, but because I think a lot of people hate it, I don't think it's gonna win. Greyhound I put on there just because I hear it's very visually stunning, and then I only put Sonic the Hedgehog on there just because it makes me smile to think that a video game movie would ever get nominated for the Oscars. It's not gonna make it. Again, this is for fun, so don't really take that seriously. But yeah, I think it's gonna go for Tenet. I might switch it to Invisible Man next month. I really think that film is more deserving. Okay, if you're watching this and you're very, very into the Oscars like I am, and you have your own list, or you have in mind what you think is going to get nominated, these next two categories, the score and the original song category, are going to piss you off. Because I'm not very good at predicting what's going to get nominated, because I don't like music the same as other people. I'm very unique in what I personally like, and so always my worst categories when it comes to predicting what's gonna get nominated. So just brace yourself here. For score, I think right now News of the World. Listening to it, it's very, has that Wild West theme that I think a lot of people really like and gravitate towards. It's just got this cool vibe, and I think that's what the voters are gonna go for as well. Again, maybe there's a little bit of nostalgia in there, although I don't know how many of them are nostalgic for the Wild West. But I think just like the old school of cinema, maybe seeing the old westerns as a kid, it triggers something, and so they like to hear that nowadays. That being said, I love the fucking score in The Little Things. It is such a good score, and I've been looking at other predictions. They don't have it anywhere. Like, it's in a maybe column. I think it needs to get nominated. I think it needs to win. I fucking love the score in this film. It's actually the only one that I heard of that I'm like, holy shit, it's good. But just because people are not really talking about it, that's why News of the World is number one right now to me. The other ones I don't really want to go too much into because I don't think they're anything that special. They don't make me want to listen to it afterwards. So these two, I think, more than anything. However, for Best Original Song, I'm even more in the dark. I've listened to these songs and I don't care for any of them, if I'm being completely honest. But I mean, you guys know my taste in music, and if you haven't, you should go check out my Best Oscar Song winners and see what I mean on that one. Right now I have Speak Now from One Night in Miami. I think just because of the cultural environment, what we're going through with the Black Lives Matter movement, I think this one is very important to the time period. So I think that one's the one that a lot of people are gonna go for. I have seen From the Life Ahead on here as well, just because I've heard a lot of people talk about this, a lot of people putting it on their top 5. So I'm throwing it on there just because of the feedback I've heard. Turntables from All In, The Fight for Democracy, again mirroring what I said about One Night in Miami, with the environment, how we're looking at things and how the political field is right now, the turmoil of it. I think a lot of people's eyes are going to be on this one as well. From there on, I have Rocket to the Moon. From Over the Moon, I thought that one was fine. It was a cute song, but that's whatever. And then I have Only the Young for Miss Americana. I think critics still like Taylor Swift. Maybe they'll give her the nomination. I don't think they'll give her the win, but maybe just to say that she got nominated. So there's that. That's what I got for you guys. So feel free to be pissed off and get angry at me in the comments below for that one. Best animated feature. It's Soul. It's Soul. Even the people, I love Wolfwalkers more than Soul. I'm not gonna fool myself. It's Soul. Just there it is. Oh, and ignore Demon Slayer. I just put that there for fun. Best documentary feature. So this one's a little bit odd for me because the last couple of years I've agreed with everybody on what needed to get nominated and what needed to win. And not only did it not win, it didn't even get nominated. So this year, a lot more people are hesitant to put Dick Johnson Is Dead at their #1 spot because there's a good chance that it might not even get nominated. But this year for me is a little bit weird because I didn't care much for Dick Johnson Is Dead. This is actually a year that I don't quite agree with everybody's unanimous pick for documentary. I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was anything special. For me, Totally Under Control was the documentary that had me most gripped. And again, it fits with the political environment, with the world in itself, everything that's going on. I would think that because of that, a lot of people are kind of going for it. So there's my state. This also actually kind of ties into Boy State at my #3. Again, political environment, just seeing young people, the next generation getting ready to take over. Or start to begin their political careers and what their mindset is. So I think these are very strong picks. I think Crim Camp is going to make a good, it's different from the other picks, but still very worthy of being on the list. So I think they'll go for that. And then Welcome to Chechnya, which I think is one of the hardest films to watch. I don't see why it wouldn't get nominated. But documentaries I think were very strong this year. A lot of documentaries I would love to add on here, but you can only have 5. Best international feature film. I mentioned this in one of my older videos, but I think Another Round from Denmark is pretty much set. Mads Mikkelsen, I think, is just a name that quite a few people are familiar with, and I think that's gonna gravitate to watch the film, and that's gonna lead to its win. Everything else I have on there is really what I've been hearing from other people. I'm not 100% sure about the other ones. I haven't been able to watch a lot of international films this year, so I'm not too familiar with these other picks. I did see Another Round though, and I think it's good enough to win, so there's that. Lastly of all, the shorts. Nobody talks about these at all, and it's because it's really hard. There's a lot of shorts that come out, and a lot of the times we don't have access to these shorts. But I didn't just want to leave it silent. I don't want to be like everybody else and completely ignore these categories. So I don't have my top 5 picks. I just kind of have what I've been reading and what I've seen myself. First, for Best Animated Short, I think Out is a very good possibility. It's going to get nominated. Just this cartoon about this guy who's afraid to come out to his family as gay, and then swaps bodies with his dog. And it's a cartoon. I think it's a Pixar short. If not, it's definitely Disney. It's on Disney Plus right now. It's a nice story. I don't know if it's strong enough to win, but I think it's gonna get nominated. For Best Documentary Short, I have Rooting for Runa, which is about this Indian child suffering from hydrocephalus and just kind of her journey. I think it's just one of those films that a lot of, when it might get nominated. It's a very strong possibility of it getting nominated. Lastly, for Best Live Action Short, I'm very much unsure if this qualifies, but I haven't seen any live action shorts this year, so I'm really just going off of something random. I put What Did Jack Do? Where David Lynch interviews a monkey that murdered someone. Originally it premiered in 2017, which makes me very unsure if it's even eligible, but it officially came out to general audiences in 2020, so there's that. That's what I got for you guys. I didn't want to leave it blank. I didn't want to be like every other channel that ignores these, because, hey, these people I'm sure are excited to get nominated as well. yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Those are my predictions as of right now. Could change. Some of those could change by next month. I have 2 more predictions videos, I believe, coming out before we go into the final predictions of what I believe is going to win the Oscar when those picks are finally announced. Yeah, the Oscars are almost here. It's hard to believe. It's been so long, but I'm super excited for it, and I hope you guys are as well. That being said, January's not done yet, guys. I have a lot more videos that I want to show you guys. I have my favorite games of 2020. I have my Oscar review, of course, for January. And then I ultimately want to wrap it up with my favorite films of 2020 as well. So please look forward to those videos, guys. Leave your comments in the areas below like you normally do or do not. And then stay safe out there. And until next time, have a good one.